Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another week of Divine Guidance. And this is going to be for the week of January 18th through the 24th of 2016, a new year. We thank you. We thank you for all your support, for everybody who's been tuning in since last week via my YouTube, or since last year via my YouTube, and even longer, I think it is. Via YouTube, and for those who have been tuning in this beginning year on my podcast on Podbean. Yes, I am doing both Podbean and YouTube, so you can either hear it audio or you can hear it via YouTube video and everything. So have a blast, enjoy, share the teachings with everybody, so that way all can be healed. Okay. We all need healing one way or another, spiritually, mentally, or physically. Okay. We all do, one way, shape, or form. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into our teachings of using. We're going to pick a card and the Sacred Path workbook. Okay, just as usual. And I'm going to be shuffling the cards. And I'm going to be asking for guidance, for help from higher, from God, from the Holy Spirit, from spirit guides, angels, animals, spirit animals. Just ask that, give me wisdom, knowledge, give me the words that need to speak, that you need to hear, to bring healing into your life. And it looks like we got a card that fell out. Oh, we got a couple cards. So, we got 3 cards that came out. I'm not looking at them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see which one is putting out more energy, okay? Which one is calling more. Let's see. Feels like the middle one. Okay, we're gonna go with the middle one. All right, so let's see what was chosen. Interesting. This is one we've done before, I believe. Burden basket. Interesting that this is coming out again. I believe it's coming out again. I'd have to go back and look on the archives, but it seems familiar. Alright, so let's see what it is that the burden basket wants to tell us. Okay. For those on Podbean, this will be the first time for this one for you. And I believe this is going to be the second time for us on the burden basket. I think. Or unless there's another one that I'm thinking of. Alright guys, so let's get into this. Okay, again. And it says self-reliance on the bottom. You can see that. Self-reliance. Okay. Self-reliance. There. Okay. Alright, I'm just being goofy. Yeah. Alright. So, again, I'm going to read the attributes. Okay. Exhibiting strength of character and self-sufficiency. Taking care of business. Being poised. Confident. Handling life with ease. Having responsibility for self. Using your gifts to the highest potential. Owning your mastery. Now, our challenges, let's see what our challenges are. Using own talents, avoiding panic or running for help, not being a burden or victim, refusing to carry another's burdens, procrastinating, and trusting who you are. Okay, so this is what this means. So if this is the second time that we have done this one, and if you remember, I said in the beginning that there may be cards that'll come out once or twice, and if it is doing that, then there's a reason why. Okay, it's because maybe there's still something that we need to work on. Okay, but this one, like I said, does sound familiar. I would have to go back and look, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I believe it came out once before. All right, so let's look at the individual applications. We'll read through the book as usual, and I'll give input on what I'm feeling, what my knowledge, what I've experienced myself. Okay, just like I always do. Okay. All right, so individual application, and again, we're taking this out of the Sacred Path workbook. Okay. So burden basket tells us that our strengths are not found in how many burdens we can carry. Okay, a lot of times, we're always trying to carry all these burdens, all the stress, all this stuff, from ourselves, from everybody else, and everything like that. Okay. But our strengths are not found in that. I mean, we can carry it all and all and all, but that's not where it's found. Okay. And this is where our abilities are found. But rather in our abilities to use that strength to toss those burdens into the fire of creation so that we may continue life by celebrating the joy of our present creations. Okay, and I think this is why it's probably coming out again. Okay, and I'm having my coffee. So if you feel free to have coffee, go ahead and feel free to have coffee. And again, this is a Wednesday. It's my day off, so I'm enjoying my coffee. Okay. Let me read that again. Okay. Burden basket tells us that our strengths are not found in how many burdens we can carry. Okay. But rather in our ability to use that strength to toss those burdens into the fire of creation so that we may continue life by celebrating the joy of our present creations. Okay. So we're not supposed to be carrying all those burdens. Okay, the burdens of life, the stresses of life. Okay, we're supposed to get rid of them, toss them into the fire of creation, give them to God Almighty. Okay, and I know we're not doing the Bible teaching here, but the Bible tells us, casting our cares upon Him because He cares. Or casting our problems, casting our troubles, casting our junk upon Him because He cares. Okay, so this is basically telling us the same thing. Okay, we're not showing our strength by all our burdens that we carry and saying, oh yeah, well, I got problems and this and that, but I'm strong and I can carry them, I'm okay, blah 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 blah. Our strength comes from knowing and learning to not hold on to those problems, those stresses, the burdens that are upon us. Okay? If we have burdens from work, leave them at work. Don't take them home. That's where a lot of problems come into the home, is because we always take our problems from work to home. Or vice versa. We end up taking our problems or, whatever stuff that we're going through at home, and we take it into our job, into our work, or whatever it is that we do. We can't do that. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. The past is the past. If it happened a minute ago, that's the past. Why hold on to it? There's no reason to hold on to the past. Okay, the past is the past. The future. Okay, there was something that I saw on Facebook. It said, and it was by a Native American teaching, and I'll have to find it. But basically, if we're depressed, it's because we're holding on to the past. If we're anxious, have anxieties, it's because we're worried about the future. When we're more relaxed and at peace, it's because we're in the present. Okay? Anything that happened a second ago is in the past. If you had an argument with your spouse and you guys are done, stop holding on to it. That was in the past. Okay? Don't worry about what's going to happen in the future, because the future isn't promised to us. Our future, we can die really quick. I'm not trying to put any bad juju on anybody, but tomorrow isn't promised for us. The Bible tells us, I'll just say, God tells us that we are not to go to bed angry, because then that gives leeway for the enemy to be able to come in and put bad thoughts into our heads. Okay, so if you have an argument with your spouse, before you go to bed, before it gets dark, you need to crush it, get rid of it, forget about it, forgive, ask for forgiveness, even though it wasn't your fault. Ask for forgiveness, because somewhere down the line it was probably it might have been your fault. I don't know. Who knows? Whatever the situation is. Okay, squish it. Don't let the enemy be bombarding you with things just because you stayed angry. You stayed angry at night. You went to bed angry. You went to bed upset or anything like that. Have you ever noticed? And I'm going to prove this. Have you ever noticed that when you go to bed angry, you cannot sleep, you have a hard time sleeping, all kinds of worse things come into your mind, you will end up waking up even more angrier for no reason? It's because the enemy is bombarding you with more stuff, and we need to squish that. So like it's saying here, toss. Our strength comes from knowing when to toss these burdens into the fire of creation. Get rid of them, burn them, give it to Him, give it to God, give it to Creator, and that's it. Boom. When we sacrifice the sticky old victim routine, we can look the future in the face. Everybody's a victim nowadays. Why? Instead of being a victim, be a victor. And not changing your name to Victor. Like I know a buddy of mine, his name's Victor. Colleague. No, a victor. Somebody who has victory. Okay? Stop being a victim. Too many people in life are trying to be victims. They're holding on to that victim mentality. Stop it. That weakens us. That weakens you. Us. I've been there. I've done it. I have. And I know if you've been listening to my YouTubes, I told you about a situation that happened to where I felt like I was beat. Okay? It drug me down. Don't allow yourself to be a victim. Okay? It sucks. Trust me, it sucks. And I know there are some of you that are watching this that have been a victim and you hold on to it. It sucks, doesn't it? Let it go. Let's stop being the victims. Let's stop being the victims and let's be the victors. Let's be the victors. Just shout it out. I have victory. I have victory. Repeat that to yourself. I'm a victor, not a victim. I'm not a victim. I'm a victor. Say it. Say it. And keep repeating it. That's a positive affirmation. Okay? Then it will be time to weave a new burden basket that holds the different reflections of our burdens, our joys. I'm a happy person. I'm very joyful. I have a lot of good energy in me. That's why my boss loves me so much. He loves my energy. Now, he doesn't love me per se. We're not like that, but he loves my energy. He loves my energy. He hopes that he never loses me because he loves my energy. I bring very good energy to my place of employment at the gym. Okay? And he loves it. So we need to have that joy. We need to have that joy. That's our new burden. The burden that we want to have is being full of joy, because then we brush that off onto people. Love people. Bring happiness to people. Let it come from here. From our hearts, love, joy, peace, from right here. When we acknowledge our ability to create our own joy through self-reliance, we are trusting the self. The poise and self-assuredness that accompanies this new sense of well-being is true balance. We need to be balanced. When we have joy, we trust in ourselves, we rely on ourselves, we rely on God because we have God within us, we have Creator within us, we have peace within us, we have love within us. We're balanced. When we can drop the victim role, again, dropping that victim role. You're not a victim, you are a victor. Say it again. I am not a victim, I am a victor. When we can drop the victim role in our shadow side and stand proud, we have learned how to carry our own burdens. When we let others do the same by refusing to always be there to rescue them, we have empowered them to find their own strengths. Okay, so when we have friends, family who are always victims and we're holding on to their burdens, we teach them how to let go of their burdens when we show them that we're letting go of ours. And we're letting that peace and love and joy just saturate our life. Okay, so we teach them to be able to do the same thing because they're going to see a difference in you. And they're going to ask you, how is it that you are so full of peace, but then all this stuff is happening to you? Tell them, because I am not a victim, I am a victor. Teach them, show them this video. Since the burden basket has appeared in your cards today, both sides of this lesson apply. It could be time to rid yourself of some bit of gossip or worry you unwillingly added to the weight you're already carrying. Is there people talking gossip about you? Talking, oh, well, this person this and this person that. She thinks that they're too good for us. Or, oh, they're this, they're that. They think their poop don't stink, whatever. Whatever the gossips may be. Don't let them add to the weight of what you are already carrying, okay? If this does not seem to apply to your present situation, look and see if you have dumped your burdens to another without asking permission. There may have been a time where we might have, started just talking about our problems to somebody. And when we do that without really asking for permission and we just start doing it, we're dumping our problems, our burdens onto people. And that's not good because they're not prepared for it. They're not asking to help you or anything like that, okay? Handle the problem if you feel it was unfair of you to add to their burdens by offering an apology. Okay, apologize to the person. Tell them, you know what, I'm sorry if I, told you my problems and without you even asking or giving permission for me to talk to you about them. Or anything like that, just whatever it was, just ask for an apology, ask for forgiveness, okay? Apologize. It's always good to apologize. Do not add to your present lot by taking on any guilt, okay? Don't feel guilty about it. Simply forgive the error and correct the attitude that made you feel it was necessary to dump your problems onto another. Okay, so don't worry about it. Don't feel guilty about it. Just ask for forgiveness. Forgive yourself, for one. You need to forgive yourself before you can forgive others. Ask others to forgive you for it. One way of correcting the attitude is to receive consent from friends before talking about your problems. Okay, receive consent. Ask for permission. It's like, hey, you know what? I got a situation going on. Do you mind if I talk to you about it? They may not be prepared to be able to hear something. Maybe they're going through something themselves. And all they need is that burden, to be hearing your problems and then adding on to their problems and not knowing how they're going to help you with your problem because they don't even know what to do with their problem. Okay, so ask permission. Just don't throw it up on them. That's a lot, especially depending on what our burden is. Okay, So we need to be careful. Another way to handle the situation is to go within your own consciousness in silence and find a place where your personal answers live. Then access your truth by listening to the wise person that lives within you or the elder you will become. Meditate, see, hear, feel. Look for the answers within. We have the answers within ourselves. We don't have to go asking anybody else. We have the answers within ourselves. Okay? Another message of the burden basket may be that you are ignoring or not feeling the strength that lives inside of you. Weakness is really based upon an inability to make a decision. Okay? We may feel weak because the burden is like burdening us down. Okay? It's bogging us down. We just feel weak. We don't know what to do. You know, it's like in my situation. It's like I was weak. It sucked. Okay? But we are strong. Okay? And we have the ability to make the decision to be able to, bring correction to our situation. Seek it within ourselves. Okay? If we look at our weakness rather than our strengths, we're refusing the original decision we made to be. When Great Mystery created all things as thoughts and gave free will, we each had to make the decision to be physically manifest or not. Okay? So, we have been given free will. We have been given the wisdom, the knowledge to be able to get through what it is that we need to get through. We're not really, we shouldn't be needing anybody else's help. I know there's doctors out there to help us and stuff like that, but, we should be seeking guidance from God, our Creator. Okay? He's there. He put it inside us to know the strength, to be able to work through the situations that we're going through. Okay? It took great strength to decide to walk the red road of physical life. That strength has not disappeared except perhaps in our minds, and it's always in our minds. Our mind makes us weak. Our heart can be deceiving. Our mind can make us weak. There's a saying, if we don't mind, it doesn't matter. Okay? Let it go. Call upon the power of that original decision and feel again the strength to master any decision. Call upon the strength to master any situation. Any situation. We have that strength within us, okay, to help us in any situation. In another instance, the burden basket reveals the lessons of seeking counsel from a person more experienced or wiser. Okay? Never ask for assistance unless you intend to honor the advice being given. What did I say last week? Okay? If you're not going to take the advice and use it and put it to use, don't even ask. Why? That's wasting your time. That's wasting the person's time that you're asking. That's wasting energy. If you're going to ask for it, for advice, if you're going to ask to be able to talk to somebody, then you need to put to use what it is that you're given. Practice it. Use it. Okay? Always choose a person who has earned your respect and trust through actions and not words. Okay? You go by what they've done. Have they accomplished? Have they been through it? Have they succeeded? Or is it you're just hearing that, about this? They say, yeah, I did this, but you never seen it. Or you can't tell that they've been through war or anything like that, okay? Then be willing to listen and act upon the wisdom given. To refuse to heed the advice you have asked for because of your sense of self-importance, lack of faith, simple stubbornness, need to always be right, fear of failure, or unwillingness to try something new is foolish and immature. So if you're not taking heed to the advice, you're not putting it to practice, you're not going to put it to use or anything like that, then you're foolish and immature. Because you ask for it, but then you don't use it. Okay? Remember to be grateful for the wisdom shared and to give back something for the wisdom. Okay? Be grateful, be thankful, and give back. If you can't give them money, you don't necessarily have to give them money, but maybe there's something else that you could give them. Be grateful, show them, give them a card, a thank you card. Take them out to dinner, to lunch, or something like that. Okay. It can be some needed household item, a dinner out, money, flowers, or a thank you that you have personally chosen. But the return flow is needed to show that you respect the teacher or wise person who assisted your growth. Okay, it's just showing gratitude. We take people for granted nowadays. Nobody wants to do anything in return for anybody. Nobody wants to help anybody. It's all about take. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people out there that do give. There's an exchange. But everybody wants to take. You know how exhausting that can be? It is very exhausting. Okay, so there has to be a give and take. That's how the universe is. That's how energy is. That's how God, our Creator, is. To give and take. We ask of Him, He asks of us. We ask of Him, He asks of us. He does for us, we should do for Him. Whatever it is, or whoever. We ask our family member for something, for some advice. We give whatever we can, one way or another. There's an exchange. It's respect. The burn basket always speaks of a time when you have the capacity to believe in your strength of character and to use your talents in order to achieve the self-reliance you seek. The independent action that leads you to greater heights is a sweet victory. By using your own steam to forge a new trail, you have risked and earned the right to be proud of who and what you are. Okay, so when you take care of the situation, either by help or on your own, because again, we can seek our own advice, our own guidance, our own wisdom. We have it within us. So we can be proud of that. Not proud in a bad way, but proud, happy that, hey, you know what? I got through this. I got through this. This sense of well-being is something that no one can give you or take from you. The knowing that you have bested your burdens and made the shadow self take notice is a rare and precious gift to the self. You have now proven to be the shadow that you have a right to be. Wow. Again, there's a reason why, and I know this came out before. I don't know how long ago. But there's a reason why it came out again. Because we need to hear it. And plus our new Podbean listeners, it's the first time that they're hearing it. So it's a good teaching. It's a very good teaching. Okay? Take it to heart. Put it to practice. What I've always been saying, when you're listening to these videos, in order to receive the healing that you need to put this stuff into practice. Okay? We need to put this stuff into practice. Because I get out of this also. I'm not just doing this for you. I do it for us. Because, I have things, I'm not perfect. I need things that I need help with. I need healing with. And, this is awesome because it comes up as we're needing it. There's been a few times when something's come up on the cards and the teaching that is something that I've been going through or something that, I was kind of curious about, because I was needing guidance and boom, it popped out. So I receive. And I have to put this to practice too. So share this. I hope that this has helped you. I hope that this is really, all these teachings are really helping you. And I hope that you're putting them to practice, receiving your healing in your life, in whatever way it is that you're needing it. Practice these, listen to them over and over as many times as you need to be able to get the full benefits of it. Okay? Just don't listen to it once and say, oh, I got it all. I even go back and I listen to these teachings. Yeah, I'm giving them. I'm reading it. I'll go back once or twice, a couple of times, a few times if I have to hear what it is I said. Because sometimes I don't, to be honest, sometimes I don't even realize what it is I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying sometimes. Or I won't hear myself saying what I'm saying. A lot of times, especially when Spirit's speaking through me, or I'm hearing what it is that God's saying to me and wanting me to give to you, sometimes I don't even acknowledge it at that time. So I have to go back. Even when I was doing Bible teachings, I would actually have to go back and listen to what it is that I was teaching. Because sometimes I was just in the Spirit and I wouldn't really know. I wouldn't remember everything. So here I go back and I listen to my own teachings. I really do. I'll listen, I'll watch, everything. So go back, listen to it, share it with friends, families, anybody who may need healing, even if those that might not, or even if you don't know that they need it, because you know what, they might not be telling you that they have issues or that they have problems. They're holding it in. They're carrying all that weight, thinking that that's strong. Share this, especially this one. Share it with family, because everybody holds burdens down. Everybody is holding their burdens. Everybody. A lot of people do it. A lot of people.
What do you think of this one?
Alright, so share it. Comment. Let me know how these are working for you. Let me know if it helped you. Okay? Or let me know if I'm doing a terrible job, or if there's something that I need to change. I mean, I'm just being me. I don't have a set way of doing this. I'm just being me. I'm just flowing. I just flow. Okay, and don't tell me that it needs to be shorter. I try. These are at least 25, 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more. That's like 2 pages worth. Let me show you. 34. Okay, because that's the card number, 34. Here's one page. That's the other page.